Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Aaron with Shields in North Prairie Life. This year I was fortunate enough to run a full new optics setup. And since the hunting season just wrapped up for me, I figured it was a great time to talk about the gear we were working with after we had time to put it through its paces. So when it comes to finding optics, I really try to balance one thing, and that is the amount of money that I spend on gear versus the amount that I have left over that I can then spend on hunting. Because if you spend too much money on gear, you don't actually get to use the gear doing the hunting stuff that you wanted to. So what I was looking for was good quality for a good value. And what I'm going to talk to you about today was just that for me. I'm an average dude who goes on average hunts, and so I wanted to make sure that the stuff that I was using is the same stuff that other people just like me would be able to use. Okay, so to start it all off, if I had to choose one piece of optics that was my only thing I got to use, it would be something like this. So these are obviously binoculars. The ones that I had this year are the Vortex Diamondback HD 10 by 50s. So what 10 by 50 means is that these are at 10 times magnification, and the objective lens, which is this outside one, is 50 millimeters. The reason that's important is because the larger the objective lens, the more light comes in and the better the vision quality is in lower light situations. You can find very similar binoculars to this in the 10 by 42 or the 8 by 42, which means that the objective lens here is only 42 millimeters, and so you save a little bit of weight, but you get less low light. So for me, the little bit more weight was just fine, and it was nice to have that extra low light ability. So these things are about 30 ounces. They're not bad at all when it comes to weight. Some of the features of this is Vortex says these are fog-proof, waterproof, and shock-proof. And what that means is that they are argon purged, so they have gas on the inside that keeps them from fogging. They have O-rings around all of the sealed parts so water can't get in there, and they are designed rugged enough that if you drop these, it's not going to be a big deal. When you feel these, they're a piece of gear, you know, they're heavy. They got a rubberized coating on the outside. There's an objective, so these little cups here, they can move in and out to change for eye relief, and they move about 17 millimeters is what I heard or what I read. There's a main focus wheel in the middle, and then there's also something called a diopter for the right eye. And so basically what this little guy here does is it lets you account for any differences in your eyes. So when you look through these, you change the focus to go with your left eye, and then you open your right eye, and then you can use this little diopter guy and you can clarify for the right eye, and you get a good picture through both if you have different vision capabilities in each of your eyes. And that's the binoculars. These things run, I believe, around $250. And, you know, for me, these were exactly what I was looking for. I've actually been running the Vortex Diamondback non-HDs for probably 5 years, the exact same 10 by 50, and I love them. The only difference with the HD is that the quality of the lens is a little bit better. The lenses are multi-coated, and they have a tough, resistant protective coating on there too, so you get a little better color and you get a little better resolution and sharpness. So, I mean, for $250, they're pretty awesome, and I definitely, now that I was able to use them, I would recommend them to anybody, and I would have recommended the ones I had before as well. One last thing about Vortex that's really cool is they have what they call their unconditional, unlimited lifetime warranty, which means you can pretty much do anything to these, and as long as you've got a piece of them left or you can prove that you had them, they will replace them, and that's awesome. I love that because I do use my gear and I'm kind of mean to it. So it's good to know that if something happens, you're not going to be just kind of SOL. And that's the binoculars. Keeping on that same topic of good quality at a good value, we go into the spotting scope that I used this year. So this is the Vortex Diamondback HD, so same line as the binoculars. This is the 16 by 48 by 65. So just again to go over what 16 by 48 means is that the magnification is between 16 times and 48 times. The 65 is the measurement in millimeters of the objective lens. So again, that just means how much light can get in to make it so you can see longer into the I don't want to say into the dark, but in the morning and evening hours. Okay, so when you look at this thing, first thing that you notice is it's got this little like neoprene case. I put it on and keep it on. I'm not going to take it off because, well, if I can protect it, I'm going to. They've got these little like tethered covers that just kind of pop off and they hang there. And then underneath of that, there is built-in rubberized. Okay, so they're protected, which is really nice. One thing that I really, really like about this one as compared to some of the other spotters that I've had is that the focus wheel is on the body here. So when you're looking and controlling, you can focus with your hand. Some of them have this little like knob up here where you're focusing. Some people love that, some people don't. I personally really like it on the body here. Lastly, it has a Arca Swiss compatible mount here. So you've got like your standard threads, so you can put your tripod adapter thread in there. Or for instance, this is the tripod that I was using last year. This is actually a Vortex. It's the Ridgeview carbon, but it's got the same standard Arca Swiss pan head right up here. So you could take this and you don't need any kind of a mounting piece of equipment. It just kind of slides in there and you can lock it down. So, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes too. But I also have some other generic tripods that have that same mount, and I can just pop it on there and it's awesome. I like it a lot. One last little thing with that mount, without the neoprene on, this mount here rotates. So say if you're in a place where you can't be looking like this and you want to look at it from the side, whatever it is, you can move that orientation, which is really nice as well. Other than that, the warranty on this is the same. The lenses are coated the same. They are the same high quality glass that you're going to find in the binoculars. And it's got all those same coatings and stuff. So it's a really cool piece. I used these two things kind of in a pair. They're a team. Get a broad overview of things with this, and then we take a closer look here. So I used, when we went mule deer hunting out in the Badlands, a lot with the binos, and then some with the spotter. When we went moose hunting a few weeks ago, a lot of spotter. We spent a lot of time sitting there looking at those moose, but we were able to find the moose with the binocular. So if I have to choose between one of the two, I'm taking the binos every time. But if you are fortunate enough, or you have the backpack room that you can use the spotter, I'm in with the spotter too. Okay, lastly, when it comes to optics, is rangefinder. So this year I did not have a rifle tag, so I didn't get to use this for big distances the way that you usually would with a long range spotter. I mean, this is the Ranger 1800, which means that it can range reflective surfaces like targets up to 1800. It only ranges deer and like soft non-reflective targets up to 900, but still, I mean, nobody's shooting out to 900, at least nobody like me. This thing, the lenses are coated like it was before. It has eye relief. You can control the focus with the diopter there on the eye. It has a couple different modes. You can do it in like a linear mode, or you use a mode where there's angle compensation, and then you could also scan. So like if something is moving, or you want to scan a side hill and get a bunch of different things, it's very good. I mean, it works awesome. It's a rangefinder, and I like it a lot. It's weather sealed like the other ones. It's got the same, everything's kind of got this rubberized grip on it. Water resistant, everything's cool. Lenses look great. I'm happy with it. It's an awesome little piece. Talking prices, because I believe this guy here is $399 and this is $349. So, I mean, everything is kind of in that middle of the road price range. When it comes to Vortex, you're not getting low end optics with Vortex. Their budget friendly pieces of glass are still higher quality pieces of glass, and so you're getting good equipment, and you're going to have to pay a little bit for it, but you could also upgrade and get into the higher models where you're looking at thousands of dollars in these pieces of glass. So for me, for what I use, these three things worked awesome. I got to use this quite a bit for bow hunting. Between these two, these guys stick with me just about everywhere I go because I use this guy here. So this is the Alaska Guide Creations chest harness. For me, this is like this comes with me no matter what hunting trip I go on. It's a good time to talk about this, I guess, now that I have it here. So binoculars go in this big pouch, then the Ranger goes in the front pouch. Everything can get zipped up nicely. You can close this here. There's a couple little places up here where honestly I just put my phone in the top of there. In the back there's a little chest compartment, or compartment that goes deep, that I put my tags in usually. To the side, well, geez, I still have in here. These are blades for my Havalon. I keep a Havalon in the side on one. And then because I film all the time, I will keep either extra batteries or an extra Arca Swiss plate. And that's what we got here. That's pretty cool. I've had, just like I said earlier, I had the 10x50s. I have a 10x50 at home, and I have those in a different Alaska Guide Creations bag. I've been using those for probably 5 years too, and I love them. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is the tripod. This tripod is 100% a luxury item. Any tripod will work for any of these things. This one is the Ridgeview Carbon by Vortex. It has a two-way pan head. Okay, it works really nice. Everything is by this little handle right here. If I loosen it up, I can wiggle jiggle. If I tighten it up, it's not going anywhere. It's Arca Swiss compatible again, so remember I could put this on top, lock it in, or we can take the one that comes with it, put it in there, lock it down, and she's nice and tight. This is a little out of my price range. I loved using it. It was a cool thing to use. It was very nice. I mean, this whole thing is 3 pounds. It's got a 73-inch height. It was awesome, but this is about 500 bucks. And so if you've got the extra cash and you're looking for something really high quality, yeah, absolutely go for it. But just know that you don't need something like this to enjoy great quality optics. Hey guys, that's me. That's the optics setup for North Prairie Life on 2021. 2022, most likely I'm going to be running something very similar. I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to use these things, and I'm glad that Shields gave me a chance to talk about it with you guys. Hey, if you like this video or you like content like this, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up here, subscribe to North Prairie Life, and hit the like button on the Shields Minot Facebook account. Let us know in the comments what you like, what you don't like, and any other kind of gear that you'd like to have us check out. Holy guys, we'll see you on the next one.